getting started. This is Isaac.
It's Stephanie.
This is Anthony. We switched it up on you guys.
Switched it up
I
on
gotta
you
squeeze
guys.
in a little bit more.
We're in a weird place
realized.
today because
Yeah.
Well, Yoga had pre-booked the room.
Yeah, we didn't realize. So we're just gonna be close and cuddly today.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go over. Last week we went over meal prep.
Yes.
You know, week before that we went over the goals. So goals will be up later today, which I don't know why I'm telling you that. Because you'll already
But
seen
also,
that.
hopefully, they've tried some of the meal prep stuff.
Yeah, but I
Even at
actually
least
should
bought
try
some
some of
of
the meal prep
the
stuff.
proper utensils, because
yeah,
even if it's just good
I
to
was
have
thinking about that
them.
yesterday because I was cutting up some potatoes, and really I was looking around. I had like the regular steak knives and everything else. I had the regular the big cutting knife, and I was like, if I had to use the steak knife right now, I could do it. It'd be a pain in the butt.
It would be.
It's just the other one's just nice and sharp. Or just yeah,
absolutely.
Steak
6
knife, you
seconds.
have to-
yeah,
That's
stupid easy.
Yep.
So what do we want to go over today? I know we talked about kind of results and things like that.
Mhm.
I know I want to ask Stephanie about her experience with the detox because David told me I'm supposed to ask you about that. Let's do that. Let's start with the detox.
No, let's
and
definitely
how it
do that.
affects the body and things like that.
Yeah.
And experiences with it because I know I've done the detox. Katie's done the detox. Have you done it yet?
No.
Okay. So we can go over that because this is the perfect time of year.
I haven't done our detox. No,
Okay.
I've done the detox, in the sense of the week, everything but the shakes and the fiber.
Okay.
So.
All right. That
But-
works.
When I had actually done the detox, the first time I did it was probably about 2 years ago now. And at that point in time was when I was really trying to start switching everything over in terms of not just, I don't want to say not just eating, but I mean really thoughtfully eating. And so I was like, this sounds great. This is really cool. I like what what this stands for. I want to give it a try. And of course, I convinced David to do it at the same time, which my recommendation is do not do it with your significant other. You will kill each other. So, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because
I got
he
really
and I had this
cranky.
conversation
Oh
earlier.
my gosh.
Yeah, I got really cranky.
Was not expecting this.
He got really cranky. We got really cranky. I actually had to stop 3 days before my 2 weeks were up because I was going to kill him. Yeah.
Whoa.
I was so cranky. And I go back and I look at what I was eating at the time is I was not as thoughtful about how I ate. I was eating vegetables, but I wasn't eating a lot of vegetables. My fiber was very low. I still ate a decent amount of added sugars. In my mind, I didn't realize I was because it was I'm eating these, protein bars and whatever. But a lot of the stuff that I was eating was processed still and had a lot of added sugar. So everything that my body was trying to push out, there was just so much. There was so much that it just did not make me feel good. And I talked to other people who had done it, and they were like, yeah, you feel bad for about, 3 or 5 days, and then you just feel great. I never had that, oh, I feel great moment. I was like, I'm going to kill someone, and it's probably going to be David because he's arguing with me. I can't handle this. So I had to stop. A couple days beforehand, before finishing. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. He finished. He went through with it. He did have his aha, I feel a little better moment. I did not. And so I'm actually about to do it again. I'm going to do it again.
So how long ago was this?
Probably about 2 years, maybe even 3 years ago now.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I really thought it happened just recently. I'm like, whoa, but this was 2 years ago.
Yeah, this was a
Yeah.
while back. This was
Cool.
probably, this is when I had first started the gym.
Now, how
here.
did you start the detox?
Yeah.
So the detox period, did you do a week before?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
Yeah,
talk to
we
us
had
about
done. I had done the whole prep week. I probably hadn't done the prep week as efficiently as I should have. I didn't fully start slowly removing sugars and things like that. I had kind of just I just stopped,
Oh.
and so that was already an initial shock to my body. Yeah, thinking back on it, it might have been 3 years ago now. I don't
Okay.
know. It's been, when I first started coming to Lifetime
Yeah.
is when we had done it, but yeah, I don't think I prepped properly, and there is a prep period, which if you do the detox, it does walk you through it, and use me as an
A
example.
very important prep period.
Yeah,
Don't
there's a reason
just
for that.
stop, especially if you drink a decent amount of alcohol. Honestly, if you drink a decent amount of
It's trapped in my
alcohol,
face.
yeah, it'll track your
It
I'm
never
face.
like,
starts
what do I
moving.
have on my face?
You have a white box on your face. You didn't know that? Yeah, that prep period is very important. But I mean, if you drink a lot of caffeine, if you drink a decent amount of alcohol, if you eat a decent amount of sugar, I would not recommend for you to jump into the detox because of how I felt. I felt like a failure. I didn't see any results. I just got angry, and it was very hard for me to be in the house with my significant other trying not to kill him because he was doing the same thing. We were both going through the same thing. We were both cranky. We were both in a bad mood.
You're just on edge already, so...
Yeah, and so then on top of that, adding, like, your body's detoxification, process, quadrupled, and then just...
So, yeah, just the emotion behind that made the whole experience kind of like, right? Which is why you're going to do it again.
I want to do it again, yeah.
Like, this time you guys aren't doing it
We're not doing it together, and I told him, I was like, no, we're not doing it together. I said, because I don't want to go through that again.
Man, dude.
Because that explains
You
why
want to
he
test how
asked
strong
me-
your relationship is? Do a
Detox.
detox with your significant
Yeah.
Because I told him that Katie and I were going to do it, and he was like, "Did you talk to Stephanie about that?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "You should do that."
Yes, you
Okay.
do that.
Well,
Yeah,
alright.
don't do it with your significant other. And I think it's funny because I have one other client, her and her husband had done it together. Their experience was very similar in that they were like, we will never ever do it together again.
Yeah, that won't be good if I do that with Heather.
No.
Because when I get mad, I get mad.
But I'd be
I'll rip
curious
my
though.
shirt off. That's crazy.
I'd be curious because I don't know how David was eating then. You know how you were eating then. I don't know how did it look. Did it look this like were you guys eating like roughly the same stuff or?
In comparison to one another?
So, yeah, it's kind of one another, and then to now to see how
That's
it
what
would
I
be
was
different.
wondering, yeah.
Well, compared to now, we do eat roughly the same because I do all the cooking.
Well, 3 years
so-
ago, you guys were living together?
No.
Okay, so that probably was different than
Yeah.
diet to diet was different. But
I was still meal prepping, but it was a lot of like plain colors, no real colorful
more simple
vegetables.
stuff.
Simple like chicken and rice and
Gotcha.
stuff like that. And so it wasn't that I wasn't eating healthfully, it's just that I was also doing a lot of protein bars
That were
and
processed.
a lot of processed foods, is what I was
Stuff
doing.
from you, yeah.
Honestly, looking back, I'm not sure how David was eating. I don't
Yeah,
know.
That's hard to
Yeah.
say. But
So-
definitely, you compared to now, that's a huge difference.
It's a big difference, absolutely. I mean, I do eat a lot more vegetables. My fiber intake is significantly more than it was back then. Probably not as much as I'm about to go on when I do the detox again. But, I mean, my intake is a lot different. But I will say that my sugar intake has been higher because of the last couple of weeks. David went to Canada to visit his family, and every time he comes back, his mom sends him back with goodies, and we have so many goodies at the house that it's like I'm at the point where I'm about to throw them all away because that's all I want to eat. Because when I get bored at the house, I munch. I don't know how to break that habit. And so I go into the, fridge, and if there's ham left over, I'll warm up some ham instead.
Yeah.
But if I go into the fridge and there's a thing of cookies, I'm going to go for the cookies because that sounds way more exciting than ham.
Yeah.
It's a bored thing. And then by the time I realize what I'm doing, I'm like, ah, crap. I didn't think about what I just did. I just went in there and I grabbed it because that looked more tasty than the ham. And that's me just being bored. And once I get back into school, I'll have less of that
It's more routine.
time
Yeah.
to just go meander into the kitchen without realizing I'm meandering into the kitchen. So these past couple weeks haven't been ideal.
So what are you hoping to get from the detox this time?
For me, I would love to have that aha moment, like mid-detox, just feeling better is really what I would love to get.
I'd be curious if you're eating better, like a ton better than what you were, what the likelihood of that aha moment is, only because you've already started reworking your whole gut biome and everything else. And I feel like that is what separates like the average member and they have that aha moment. Because I know when I went through the detox the last time I did it, I didn't have that. But I also didn't feel bad going into it. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, cool. So instead of having this shake, I'm having this shake with more fiber in it.
Yeah.
So, and even for me, I just kind of mixed the detox stuff into the normal shakes that I was making. And it was never like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that much different. I mean, I felt better, but it wasn't like, there was no aha moment, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is why
what
I'm
I'd like
curious to see.
If that
If
so
that
you're
happens,
saying because she's better off now,
Yeah.
she won't have that aha moment?
I don't know if I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
there's not that big of a difference.
Yeah.
Like
'cause
you're saying.
when you think
And I
about
think
it.
even with me, like, I would even be happy of not feeling like crap.
Oh, yeah, that'll
Because,
happen.
like, I know I'm going to get, that's what I was telling my team class because I'm wanting some people to do it with me. And I'm doing, like, a nice,
I
fun
like
little
that. That's smart.
competition with them as well. That I'll give, a resting metabolic assessment to whoever loses the most. Yay!
That's awesome.
And so it'll be fun, and I would like to go through it with them and kind of be like, you're not
If
the
you want
only
to join
one.
in on her challenge, let us know.
Let me
There you
know. And so
Yeah.
I'd like to have a little bit of fun with it, and also too because I don't want to be the only one. And I told him that. So I'm gonna be honest. I said the
That's
reason
really
why I
cool.
want to bring this up
Yeah.
is because I don't want to be the only one, going through this. And I would like you guys to try this because it is a great program. I said it's great what you get out of this whole resetting your gut, because you are eliminating typical foods that cause inflammation in the gut and things like that, the dairy, the gluten, and all of that stuff. But it's a nice change of mindset. For me, I like the fact that I'm going to go back to thinking about eating more vegetables. I'm going to go back to thinking about not having as much sugar. I'm going to retrain, or really reset my original line of thinking that has kind of gone onto the wayside for the past couple of weeks because of Christmas and Thanksgiving. And so that's for me why I'm doing it. And so it's, I think it'll be fun to try to do something different and to also get a different experience being at a different place in time from what I originally did.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you may have that aha moment because just the emotional,
Yeah.
there won't be the arguments because you were, in a sense, your body was distracted with the arguments for it to have that aha moment.
Exactly.
And I think now maybe it was because there isn't any of that because you guys aren't doing it at the same time and you're better off. It might be like, oh wow, I do feel better.
Exactly. I'd like to just focus on just, me, just focus on making sure that, I'm following the protocol, making sure I'm doing what I should, and just going back to thinking about things how I was before, before the, before Christmas. So, but I am excited to do it again. I'm excited to try it again because I did have really negative feelings towards it because of the last time I did it, and I want to try it again to really see the better benefits and the good things that come out of doing it.
And that's not the first time I've heard a story like this. One of Keith's clients, Paul's clients now, went through it, and the amount of caffeine that she was drinking in the course of a day was so much that when she would come here, she was like super angry because she had to cut it all out. And then we went through what it was. She was doing this. Honestly, this blows my mind. And actually, the lethal limit of caffeine is 150 milligrams per kilogram body weight. So it's a lot. I mean,
That's
it's not.
a lot of caffeine.
It's not a small amount.
Yeah.
She was having a 32-ounce cup of coffee in the morning before she would start her day. Like, she would get up and go have like a 32-ouncer. Then after she did whatever she did in the morning, emails, phone calls, things like that, she would have another 32-ouncer. Then before she would come and work out, she would usually
I don't know
have...
anything about coffee. How much caffeine is in a 32-ounce cup of coffee?
So a normal cup is about 80, and that's about 8
Shut up.
ounces.
8 ounces.
Yeah, so when you think about what's that? Is that
12, I'm assuming?
No, what's the caffeine?
12 ounces. Oh, 112, 140, something like that.
So that would be, and that's 12 ounces. So yeah, if you were to take that by volume,
142.
one serving of that would be about a cup of coffee.
Okay.
The average person's cup of coffee. So that's 12
So she's
ounces.
having
Most people aren't
4
having
servings.
Actually, yeah. Four. She was basically having 4 of those in the morning,
And then 4 more.
and then 4 more, and then she was having Hyde mixed with C4, so a pre-workout and a pre-workout before she would work out, and then
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't.
yeah.
Okay,
So
sorry,
at this
continue.
point, like if from a number standpoint, like we calculated out, it should be somewhere around like 500 or 600 milligrams of caffeine, like just in that concoction with the two pre-workouts. 'Cause
That makes my
each-
heart hurt just listening to
Yeah,
that.
each pre-workout in per serving is usually somewhere about 150 to 200 milligrams of caffeine. Some go up to 300.
C4 is one of those.
Yeah, C4 and Hyde both go to 300 per serving. So
So you're telling me she was getting 600 at once, right?
600, yeah, 600 right there. Then you figure the 250 or whatever in each cup of coffee. So now we're at basically 700 and more. Oh, what is that? 250? Yeah, 1,100 milligrams. And then she would have potentially another cup or 2 of coffee later in the day.
Does she ever sleep? Ever?
Yeah, she said she slept great. I
guess when your
don't know.
tolerance gets that high,
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
you have to have that much for it to do what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like anything, right?
Yeah.
Drugs and melatonin. And
But the
beer.
come down, the letdown of reflex, it's not
Yeah.
there. Like she would have headaches. So we thought, so when I first spoke to her, I was like, okay, you're dehydrated. And I was explaining what happens in the brain when you have that much caffeine and what's going on as far as basically blood flow restriction, and how it's basically your brain is getting less blood than it needs to when the caffeine's there. And then also once the capillaries open up, your brain gets a ton more blood, which is awesome. But that's where the headache comes from, or starts to come from. But then, since she was taking in so much, it was the same as like extreme alcoholics when they cut out alcohol. So I mean, the shakes, the detox that you go through, it was, I mean, ridiculous. She couldn't function, couldn't focus, couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Jeez. You think? Because we know that alcoholics, if they just stop, they'll die.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
Do you
wondering.
think that's what would happen with her if she just completely cut it out, as opposed to?
I don't think she would have died, but I think we're getting pretty close.
It's something bad happens.
Yeah.
Heart attack, seizure,
She
whatever.
Irritability, like extreme irritability.
That's
Like when I would look at
nuts,
this lady,
man.
she was like, "I hate you. Honestly, I will probably fire you both if this doesn't make me feel better by the time I'm done with it."
Now, did
Like-
she fire you?
No, she still trains with Paul. Like, you know, we still,
Oh,
yeah, she still does.
what's
She
her
does
name?
pro coach.
Oh, you can't give me her. Don't
Yeah.
give me her name, but
Yeah.
later, yeah.
But
wow, man, I think
yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Actually, I think I know who you're talking
and
about.
I mean, speaking of Hyde, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, like super awesome
Whoa,
personality
yeah,
normally.
that's true.
And then once the detox started, because of all the caffeine that she was taking, it was just like, and I mean, like literally, I would see her and just walk around her like that kind of bad. And I'm not scared of many people, like, but I was terrified this lady was going to kill somebody.
Wow, that's nuts.
But that's crazy. But yeah, like what I was saying is, I don't think the detox is for people who do take an excessive amount of caffeine, a lot of sugar, or drink a decent. I mean, if you're a moderate drinker, even then, I think this is not a good idea for you to start, because that is a lot for you to be cutting out. I mean, it is technically only 2 weeks, but you'd still have that prep week, and then you still have that reintroduction week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks of kind of bringing everything back in. That, I mean, that's a long time for your body to just stop.
Well, and that's the thing, because you're just stopping, and you've been doing whatever it was you're doing, alcohol, sugar, whatever, for a year, 2 years, 3 years. If you don't transition through that well, it's going to be literally just like slamming on the brakes in your car. You're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna feel good at all. And I think that's what people do wrong, because I've had a couple horror stories. I had one lady who was, throwing up violently when she would take her shakes. Her stomach was so ill prepared to have that kind of fiber
So that
in her
gut
system.
flora was
Wow.
Yeah, she was like rejecting
Wow.
it. She couldn't process it.
like, we're not giving up the reins. Like,
Yeah.
this is my gut.
Yeah, and then basically what I had her do is she had to extend out the detox phase longer. So she could only take like a half of a scoop of the fiber and like a half of the scoop of the protein to get into her system and not want to throw up, because her system was so jacked up.
I mean, that's a big testament to, like, your body doesn't like change. Your body doesn't like to have to change. And if you've been doing something for a long time, slowly start to work that out of your system. Slowly start to decrease the amount of alcohol you're drinking, decrease the amount of sugar that you're taking in. Like, for me, I've really only been eating a significant amount of sugar for the past 3 weeks. That's not normal for me. Like, I might have, a Danish from HEB like once or twice a month, I've done a lot of sugar in the past couple of weeks, so I don't expect myself to feel 100% while I'm doing this, but I don't expect to feel like I did when I did it the first time.
Now, you'll have this done before school starts, or you'll be doing this during school?
I'll be doing it during school. I'm wanting to, because school starts Monday, so this next Monday.
Oh, wow.
I know, I feel like I had almost no break.
So crazy.
Yeah.
School starts Monday, and I'm planning to start the prep week for detox the Monday after. So not the 8th, but the Monday after.
Was this 15th?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting too, because one of the things you had mentioned about the pig eating, when you think about like the gut health, when that gut flora starts the bad flora starts flourishing, that's why it's easier to drift towards those bad foods.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
Oh,
is
for
what
sure.
makes people fail.
But the thing
a lot.
is like, because I don't eat that stuff so often, I am so sad when I'm eating it because it doesn't taste good. And it's sad because I used to eat, like, mind you, I don't have anything homemade in the house. It's all processed. Like, homemade chocolate chip cookies taste better than the crap you buy at the store. But, like, in my mind, because I used to eat homemade stuff, because my mom would make homemade cookies and stuff like that, and brownies and, cakes and stuff. And when I go to try a cookie, like, in my mind, that's what I expect to taste. Is that flavor of happiness that I was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I eat it, and it's just sadness. Like, I don't know how to describe. I was literally telling this to David last night because his mom got us this container of butter cookies. You know the containers that your mom has sewing supplies in? That container, but it actually has the cookies in there.
Yeah, that's actually true.
And so I was eating, like I ate like 1 or 2 of the butter cookies, and I was just like, this is really sad because it doesn't taste like anything. It doesn't taste like anything. And I'm eating it because it is in front of me.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. So I was like, it's fine, I'm going to put them away. I am going to toss them, and I am actually going to use them for sewing supplies because I need a new container for my sewing supplies. But it's like, I go back and I'm trying these things that I used to just be like, oh, this is so good. And like the only way I can describe, like legitimately the only way I can describe it is sadness. Sadness, disappointment.
What was I having the other day? Oh man, I don't know. It was something that I would used to have quite frequently. And for whatever reason, I had it. And the one bite, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Like I literally said it. And I was like, this is gross. This tastes completely fake.
Yeah.
And I just threw it away. And it was like, wow, that makes sense. And because we see that refined sugar is 50,000 to, what is it now, 100,000 times stronger than real sugar. So when you get used to the fruits and the only form of real sugar, this other stuff is like insane.
But that's an awesome point there, because when you look at what's happening in the average person's body, flip it. So their bad food tastes normal to them,
yes,
and the good food tastes horrible
because
they can't.
It used to taste good to me.
Yeah,
and that shows that it used to have taste buds and everything was geared towards that. And that's what I would crave.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like I'm craving this other stuff, and it's just so crazy. But so I finally finished the podcast with Joe Rogan and Dr. Patrick.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved it. And she talked about how they now have released research on what diet soda was doing to your microbiome.
Oh God,
right?
I gotta finish it then.
We knew.
I know.
Yeah, so we know that obviously it wasn't going to be good news.
Yeah.
But we just didn't know what. And she finally is like, it's been done and it's released. And 2018 is going to be a big year as far as like stuff like that being released. But she says it's exactly what we talk about as far as like a bomb going off, and then your bad flora starts to thrive in that new environment. And especially we know people who drink diet soda, that's all they basically have because they don't eat and they're always just drinking diet soda.
That's crazy.
And it's nuts. I'm like, whoa, so it's destroying. And I have the lady who I just trained, she's an avid soda drinker, diet soda specifically, and I said, oh, guess what I read? And she's like, what? I said, recent research has just been released. I said, so it backs up what I've been saying. And then I told her, and she just looked at me and she smiled. She's like, well, I am cutting back. And I said, good. I was like, but it's not that I'm trying to tell you to stop, because have your soda if that's what you really, really want. And if she's only having it once a day, we can eventually get her to not like it, and she'll only have it a few times. But do the things that you have to do to combat it, in the sense of take probiotics, have your fruits and your veggies, right? Eat balanced everywhere else, so that way there isn't this just battle that's the bad guys are constantly winning. And it's like in one ear out the other type thing. You know when it doesn't stick to a client, and then you know when you say something that it just you're like, oh, they grasp it.
And it's never true until you see it on the news. That's the thing that blows my mind.
That's true.
Because we've done, I mean, I can't tell you how many things we've looked at, researched, studied, and you tell your clients, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't count.
Until
they see it on like CBS or CNN or Fox News, and all of a sudden it's like, did you see what that was over there? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. You see what Dr. Oz said? Yeah, we saw it. We saw it. We had that conversation before.
Doctor's show, and it's just
and it's like we're trying to help you, we're trying to get in front of you, and it's like
what we have to do is have the study saved in bold letters of what we're trying to get through their head, the abstract, and say,
that's it.
I'm not saying it. Read it.
Yeah.
And then and then maybe they might believe us.
And that's actually something we could do from a coaching standpoint too, because with this we could always screenshot the summary and just send it right to them.
Absolutely.
And it's a great way, because what I've started doing, and that's why I'm going to take a step further and do that part. But before I used to just say, this is what happens. I would never say, based off of the research that they've done, that smarter people have done, that have the resources to. Now I'm going to have to say, it's right here. Like, what more do you want me to tell you? If you're not going to listen to what the research is showing, then you don't really want to change. And we're done here.
No. Which I think brings up, you look like you're going to say something.
Oh no, I was just thinking. I was kind of taking in what you were saying.
Got you.
I like what you were saying.
I was going to say, because you hit it, like change, like the readiness to change. So each thing that we've talked about requires a change and a willingness to change. And even that's even one of the lessons in PN. Yep. So it's the first thing, ready, willing, and able. You know, so like what things have you guys noticed in the clients that come in? What's the difference between the client who says they want to do it and actually does it? Because there's a stark difference.
There's something about their body language, and because we deal with this day in and day out, 5 to 6, 7 days a week, right? We can pick up on the whole, this person's really wants to change, this person is going to change, and this person is just full of shit. Because a lot of these people who are full of shit, I see. There's so many of them that come in, and I'm like, all right, man, like, I know, like, in my mind, I'm just saying, like, we're doing this, I'm giving you what you need, but I know you're not going to stick with this. I know it's not going to last. I know it's not, so, but then there's other people that are just, they're engaging. There's something about their body language, and they're asking questions, and then they ask questions on the question that you just answered, and it's like, okay, all right, they're engaging, they're participating.
There's an eagerness.
There's an eagerness about it.
That comes about the people who want to make a change. And you're right. The people that want to make a change tend to lean closer into what you're saying.
Yeah, they
sit there and they engage in what you're asking, what you're saying. They ask questions, or they get frustrated with themselves when they're not seeing the results that they think they should. And I see that. I mean, I have one client in specific, like particular, that just like everything that comes out of my mouth, he absorbs. And he tries to do. Even if he doesn't know if he can do it, he tries. Yeah. And when we meet again, he's like, all right, cool, this didn't work for me. How can we fix it? And so, but he takes to heart what it is that is being said. It's because he wants to make that change. Yeah. He wants to be better. And then I've had other people who are like, sit back and...
Yeah, and those are the ones
that
legit just decided to spend the money because they were told they had to do it, or they're like, it sounded cool, or I don't know, maybe it's just a consult where it's just like, I have to be here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's true. There was something else. Oh, well, goes back to that ready, willing, and able. Like, they don't know that that's what we have to ask ourselves when we're but so they come in and they're ready to change, but the willing part is probably not there.
Yeah.
They might say they're willing to change, but they're probably more like they're willing to change the things that they want to change. And that's a lot of times not what's needing to get started, right? And then the able to change, right? Like, is it even possible for you to try and change with your schedule and your life? And a lot of times people they set these unrealistic goals based off of their lifestyle. Like, they just don't take into account that you still have a life to live, family to raise, bills to pay, life curveballs to deal with, and you're trying to change your entire lifestyle. Like, no, like you have to ask yourself these questions before you can truly dive in and say, I'm doing this. Right?
I think that's a big thing, because a lot of times it's like you said, like when you sit with somebody and you said it, he'll take it, he doesn't know if it'll work, he doesn't know, it just goes and does it. The first time someone looks at me and says, I can't do that, I basically check out.
You can already tell.
Yeah, because it's not, I'll try it, not, is there another option, not like, let's work, like, let's negotiate this. Because think about any situation that you've gone through. If it's close to something you want to do, you think about how can I manipulate that.
Absolutely.
That's anything. Like, I want a new TV.
This starts from when we're kids.
Yeah.
As soon as you want to go to a friend's house, you're trying to like...
Yeah, you're trying to negotiate.
What if I like take the trash out, and what if I vacuum inside for the next 3 weeks? Like you're trying to make these things work, and it starts from being young.
Yeah.
But if you're not interested...
Yeah, if you're not interested, it's like, okay, whatever.
You're like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Next.
I mean, and that's this one would be the perfect one to have Ava in, because we could have used her for that. I was editing the one with the Subway.
Were you?
Yeah.
What
do you want? Subway. You ruined it.
Disappointment.
Yeah, seriously, I'm like...
I just like, it would be awesome if you just like zoom in on your face on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like...
Well, then you just let me know. But like with her, it's actually awesome that you say that, because there's been times where I've left the house and like Six Flags, we have passes to Six Flags, And she's like, Dad, let's go to Six Flags today. Like, it's a great day. It would have been perfect to do it. Like, had we thought about it before we left the house, pass it at home. We'll buy new ones. Well, yeah, that's an option. Or go home, get them.
She says that?
Yeah. She gives me a list of, like, options.
That's it.
It's because she wants to do it. So, think of it. This is a 7-year-old.
She's so freaking smart.
Trust me, it's not a good thing.
I
Like,
always think she's like 10.
Yeah.
I always think she's 10.
parents, like, you want smart kids? You don't want smart kids. You want dumb kids. Stupid. But it is
that.
because it's one of those things where every time that we do something and it's like, yeah, I'd love to do that. Like, let's go to this. Let's go to that. Okay, we can, but we got to do this. Well, why don't we do that first? This way we can save time and go here. Well, yeah, but it doesn't work that way because that thing doesn't take like 20, 30 minutes like going grocery shopping does. So we have to go grocery shopping first, and then if we have time, we can go there because we're going to be there for 3 or 4 hours. What if we're not there for 3 or 4 hours? We just go for a shorter period of time. Well, why would you want to go? I know, like, she's got logical points. But to my point, like, an adult that wants to do something will find a way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
An adult that doesn't want to do something will find an excuse not to do it.
Yes.
And that comes down to anything in life. You want to buy a brand new TV?
Use an example. I have been, I don't want to say I've been making excuses, but I more or less have been making excuses on why I can't come in here to work out. I'm tired. I already worked my shift. I want to go home because I'm hungry. All right, I'm going to go home and eat. Cool. Didn't work out that day. All right, cool. I'm going to wake up early. I'm never going to wake up early. Every time I tell myself I'm going to wake up early, it's never going to happen. But I lie to myself almost every day. I go to bed and I'm like, it's going to happen. No. I'll get up early and I'll go to the gym and I'll work out before I go to class. And then I'll shower and go to class. Doesn't happen. All right, cool. There's another excuse. Well, I couldn't get up, so I can't exercise today. Whoops.
Now,
So-
time out.
No, you're good.
Is there, when you say, when I wake up in the morning, is there slight doubt already?
Oh, there's a lot of doubt.
Okay.
I know for a fact.
And I think that's what happens with clients too. Is they're all, I want to do this and I want to do the shake, and you're just like, okay, this is what you're gonna do for breakfast and brunch, and they're like, yeah, but in the back of their mind, you ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, they already
Quit
know.
lying. You're gonna do it for 3 days and then you're not gonna do it, right?
Exactly.
Or it's like you're not gonna wake up. Because I've done, I know exactly, and there's already that small little corner in my mind.
You never
Yeah.
wake up.
Yeah.
You never
and,
wake up on
and
time.
you're like, yeah, I am. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. And then when it comes down to it, you don't do it.
You don't.
Right? And it's.
And so like this now, I'm like, and I've been going through where I set myself up because I was like, okay, I don't have enough time to weight train like I want to. I want to. It's not that I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. I don't know how to make time with my school schedule. So I'm like, okay, let's try to get up early. Okay, that's not working. All right, here's another. Let's maybe not do weight training. Let's just do metabolic conditioning. Let's do metabolic conditioning instead because I can do that for 30 minutes. It's the getting here that I've noticed is harder for me
Gotcha.
outside of my work shift. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's not working because I'm not making the time to get here. Okay, so now what can I do? I'm going to start working out at home.
What can you do?
I'm going to start working out at home.
Now, right there.
Yeah.
Is that doubt still there, or is it more like this is more realistic? It's more comfortable.
It makes me feel like it's something that I can do.
Yes, and that's the next thing I wanted to talk about was whenever you and it's like we have to like either ask the exact amount of questions and get down to it, or we have to guess with them if they're not really participating.
Yeah.
But if we happen to get exactly what they're looking for and exactly what they're comfortable with the first time, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But they have to feel comfortable. Like with these, when you're when you're asking yourself, this is my goals and everything, it's like if there's that slight doubt of I'm not gonna do it, like that's already shown you're not gonna do it because that slight doubt is much bigger than what we think. It might seem like a small voice, but you have to, before you're gonna make these changes and stuff, like there has to be that like, you know what, I'm doing it because if not, I die, I can't have kids. Whatever, right? There's no whatever it is that fear sets in, right? But like, there's like this switch that turns on that you just like we start driving through, and instead of it, well, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and that doubt being there, it's I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna work out at home, and there's that I think I can make that work.
And that's exactly
and just
what it
that
is.
comfortable feeling is more likely
Exactly.
going to happen.
And so it's like for me, it's like we have a whole garage full of like nonsense that I can use.
Yeah.
We've got a bar, not nonsense, because it's a whole bunch of like, it is nonsense.
It's an interesting little collection.
It's a bunch of stuff. And so we've got kettlebells, we've got, a bar and some bumper plates, we've got all kinds of stuff. in the garage. I'm like, all right, so there's stuff that I can do there. If not, I can use soup cans. I can, do that stuff. I'm going to go and pick up some resistance bands and a door thing to use.
A door stopper thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to include that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start doing workouts at home, because it's like if I get up, because I think the biggest thing about waking up in the morning isn't so much just the waking up, it's the waking up and having to go somewhere. Because if I wake up and just throw some clothes on and then just go to the living room and work out for 45 minutes and then shower and go to class, I'm more likely to get up and do that because I'm not actually going anywhere.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is walking outside of the room. That's it. I'm going to have to battle with the cats for space, but what are you doing, Mom? Oh my God, what are you doing? I'm going to lay right here.
Biggest pain in the butt about
Yeah.
working out at home.
And like
Pay
with
attention to
you,
me.
like you know that when you get home, you probably, and this has probably happened where you got home and you're like, I'm going to sit down and take a break first and then I'll work out.
Yeah.
And there was that little doubt of,
You're not.
once you sit down, you're not gonna
Yeah.
get up. You knew that doubt was there, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with me with whatever I tried to do too. But then there's like that solution we come up with that is comfortable, and it's like, yeah, that's it. That's what
Yeah.
you have to do. It might be hard to do. You have to like really like just do it, and then once you're in, right?
Yeah.
But it's like that. There's just it's a small little thing you have to be aware of that I think maybe some clients maybe they're not aware of.
No.
Maybe they're just like going through the motions in the sense of new year, new me. Okay, set goals. Go see the trainer. Join the gym. Okay, yeah,
And
I
you're
want to
just going
change.
through this monotonous, like,
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I think I should
Yeah, I
be.
want to change. Yeah, I want to lose because I'm fat and I don't want to be fat no more. And it sounds good,
Yeah.
but in the back of your mind, it's like no, you don't really want to give up coffee. You don't really want to give up
Whatever.
not having to work out.
Yeah.
Right? Give up your drinking days with your friends. Like, until you're ready to make those switches, you're right. You're not ready to give it up. Like that self-conscious, right, little voice is probably right. It's that intuition telling you
Yeah.
you're not going to change.
Well, and that's, I don't know if you guys saw the thing I did on Monday on my live, but it was talking about making commitments to yourself and not lying to yourself. Because if
Yeah.
you know you're not going to do it, there's no point in making that commitment to yourself.
You're already gonna.
And I've had this conversation with Katie because there's been a couple times where I've come up to swim, and she's like, "Yeah, wake me up in the morning because I'll go with you." No, I don't even. I've got to a point where I don't even like sugarcoat anymore. I'll roll over. Hey, you gonna get up? Can I have 5 more minutes? Okay. So when she tells me like I want to get up, I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
And I've had people complain that I'm too up front, like, because I'll ask them like, is that something you're really gonna do? And they'll be like, well, it's kind of rude, don't you think? No, I want to know, like, are you actually
Yeah.
going to do that?
Yeah.
And it's not me trying to be a dick. It's not anything like that.
Yeah.
It's if you set this goal, if you set this priority, and you lie to yourself, that tells you that it's okay to let you down. You would not accept a relationship or a situation where someone would be like, yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. And they don't show up, they stand you up, they show up 45
You'd be
minutes
pissed
late.
about it.
Yeah. So why would you let yourself down? Why would you make a commitment to yourself just to let yourself down? And that's no. But that goes back to what you were saying. Like, I can work out at home. Cool. I know that if
Solution.
and that goes back to what we said.
Solution, yeah.
If I sit on the couch, I can't work out at home. But if I stand in the kitchen, like even if I'm eating, I can stand in the kitchen, eat my food, and then go do what I got to do. But the
As long
second
as you don't put your butt in the couch.
If my butt hits the couch, it's over.
But you know that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know I'm having a hard time coming in here
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to come in here outside of my shift because I
Yeah.
have other stuff to do. Homework, get ready for school, buy my textbooks, get my, flu shot that I have to get to be able to do my stuff. It's like all these things that I have to do that if I have to come in here, I feel like that's going to ruin the rest, not necessarily ruin the rest of my day, but I feel like it doesn't flow with how I want to do things. And I don't want to have to get up stupid extra early to come in here.
Yeah.
But if I get up at my regular time and work out and then shower, I can do it all at home
And you get it all done.
and I get it done.
Mhm.
And then by the time I leave my house, the only thing I have to focus on is all the extra nonsense that I have to do.
Yeah.
The going to class, the doing the homework, the coming to work, that stuff. I don't have to worry about anything else because I already did my workout. And you know what? If I can't get up in the morning, like one of my classes, I'm going to have to be up really early to have to get there because it's an hour across town. And then maybe another hour to come home and then go to work. So on those days, I can either not work out or work out after I get off work. Because I stay up until 10 o'clock. I get home at 8:30. I can go
Yeah.
home, work out, and then eat, and go to bed.
Yeah.
So I have a solution for myself that I genuinely believe that I can keep up with. I wasn't so sure if I could keep up with the Metcon.
Yeah.
I tried it anyway. It was all right for a while. I enjoyed it. I just stopped having the drive to come in here, to make the time to come here to do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a treadmill at home. And my thing is, like, I've got so much other stuff that I need to do. I just want to do it at home.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've realized works. Don't sit your butt on the couch. And you
It's a
know.
horrible choice.
And
Doesn't
you
matter
know.
which couch it is. They're both like kryptonite.
Yeah.
You're like, you're done, man.
What's on
Yeah.
Netflix?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
You
bad.
immediately pick it up and it's like, no.
Yeah, and that's the worst part too, because I'm thinking like I shouldn't be doing this the entire time, and I'm watching it, and I wish it was something like something really really bad. Because I sit down and like pick up the controller, I'm like I'm just gonna watch one episode, and it's like I shouldn't be doing this at all. I should be moving. Why can't I move? Shit.
Yeah.
It's surrender. Literally, surrender happens, and I'm like
Yeah.
tomorrow's a new day. Like 'cause
Exactly.
it's over.
And that's okay. And on days that you just do decide to sit on the couch, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Then on a day that I don't feel like working out because I'm tired because I have too much homework due the next day, I'm going to push my workout till tomorrow. I'll push my workout till tomorrow. It's okay. I'll do it tomorrow. Every day is a new starting point. Every meal is a new starting point. Every moment is a new starting point. Forgive yourself and move on. That's okay. But get to a point in this journey that whatever it is that you're starting, whether it's fitness, it's health, it's food, it's just moving, it's okay. Just do what you actually believe that you can do.
Product placement.
Product placement.
We talked about that in social media. There's the product placement. No one ever does this.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just doing it.
But yeah, I mean, do what you genuinely believe that you can do. Like we had talked about with the meal prepping. Don't do this crazy elaborate, like, 4-course meal nonsense. I've tried to make these crazy elaborate meals. I don't eat them. I like the simple stuff. It's easy. And do what's easy for you. Do what you actually know that
Do
you're
what
going to do.
works.
Yeah. Do something you can be consistent
You have to be
with.
really realistic with just the goals you set. And yeah, the overall goal can be lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds, but what smaller goals and behaviors you have to do and commit to. And start with what you can commit to and then grow from there.
Yeah.
Right? Success will build on success, and eventually we can take on those bigger habits of just quitting diet soda.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that isn't so intimidating for our clients, and they're just like, you know what, I stopped drinking soda, all of a sudden I feel pretty good. You're like, whoa. Because what I've noticed is I don't really push the get rid of the badness. I'm like, you're going to do that on your own. Like, I'm going to let that happen.
Yeah.
And sure enough, eventually they're like, so I'm drinking less coffee, and I'm drinking less this. And I'm like, wow, cool.
It's amazing.
So it's pretty neat, yeah.
Clap.
Ow.
All right.
That's not what I wanted to
One
do.
more time, a little louder.
Oh, God, that actually
What
hurts.
happened?
Do it again. Where's it hurt?
Like right
Oh,
in there.
dude, take that.
Jesus.
Right there?
Yeah.
Then move your wrist back and forth.
God.
Oh! All I heard was clicking. I don't know, can you hear it? Can you hear it on the...
You hear that?
Yeah. That's me?
That's you.
I thought it was your freaking
No.
jacket or something.
No, that's your fluid. You feel that? You feel that?
Yeah. God, I feel it.
Yeah. Now clap. Hard.
Wanna.
Clap hard.
God.
Holy cow!
That's all I got, folks. In my hands.
That was impressive. I may have passed out for a minute,
Yeah,
but that
man.
was...
Dude,
I can't believe that was my forearm
was
making
that
that
pretty
noise.
tight? Did I
Yeah.
squeeze pretty hard?
Well, I mean, it felt like it was hard. I mean, I
I've
don't
been
know.
told that I squeeze really hard, and I'm like, man,
I don't know if it's hard, because, like, I know, like,
it's just
with
that
soft tissue
specific
work...
spot.
Exactly.
It's just that specific spot.
Because I've had that happen with clients where I'll be, like, foam rolling, and they're like, how much pressure? And I'm like, just my hands.
Yeah.
The
And don't get me
popping noise
wrong.
is weird.
I can do finger push-ups.
Yeah.
Not a lot,
Yeah.
but they've gotten so much stronger because of just strictly.
Just doing that.
But yeah, man, there. And anytime there's interior wrist pain, it's gonna be that. And then if it's here, it's gonna probably be on this other side, right here. Yeah, just kind of just pretty nuts.
Cool!
And then it's like the same thing for like, so if they're having that ankle pain here,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same thing. So if you look at that knee joint,
Yeah.
it'll be up here.
It's
Pretty cool, right?
That's awesome.
Fucking cool. But you heard the crackling too?
Yeah.
And I could like feel it.
Yeah.
And I just keep working it until I don't feel it. And I can actually feel it now because I know how like to feel for it.
Yeah.
And I can hear it too sometimes. And I'll stop, and when it goes away, then I'll work it up the other way. But I make sure that I go this way to relax. Because
Yeah.
if I would have crossed it, it would have just shortened it, which makes it tighter. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Dude,
Neato.
that was awesome.
It's probably because you're swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just because you're swimming. Yeah, that's exactly why, or however you swim. I don't know good swim form, but
Yeah.
there's probably something happening where it's just
Wondering.
getting a little more action here.
Because I know I drag my fingertips across the top of the water, so when
Ah,
it's just,
yeah.
I must
Yeah,
be
right
dragging
there.
too
Look
low.
at
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Huh.
That's nuts. But it's because it's different. Like,
Yeah.
so on that Rogan podcast, they were talking about the Vibram.
Mm-hmm.
The Vibram finger toes,
Mhm.
and he talked about how Vibram got in trouble because they said that it would cure injuries.
Yeah.
But people were like, oh, okay, well, then they'd go run right away like miles, and they'd end up with like plantar fasciitis and broken feet and stuff. But it's just because, like, when your muscles work differently, and we all know this,
Yeah.
right? But for the clients, when your muscles work differently, just that simple, when he's swimming, there's that slight resistance with the water that it's making this muscle work here,
Yeah.
and it's different. So that muscle fatigued quicker and just wasn't able to work that lactic acid, phosphate acid out, so it just kind of bundled up. And what we have to do is foam roll, right? And that was just a form of foam rolling, just with my fingers and my arm. But we foam roll it, and it clears out the fluid, which is the crackling and the popping and the...
I'm gonna be curious if that crackling shows up on there.
I don't
If it was
know.
loud enough where
Maybe. But I mean, like, all that stuff is it's just synovial fluid, right? But it's all like just stuff we want. Like, I remember they used to tell me, you're gonna get arthritis when you grow up. And I'm like, so I think in freshman year I had to do like a essay, and my thesis was on that. And I happened to find a research study that showed that no, that doesn't cause arthritis.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like Heather's hands. When I like, dude, like, look at this, right? Like, that's pretty good. And I
Yeah.
think, can you check yours?
Yeah, no.
Not, you're a little tight. Yeah, a little tight. Check yours. You're pretty good. Yeah, you're like me.
Yeah.
Right, so that's, look, but I feel like we should still have some slight.
Yeah.
Heather's are pretty tight, right? And I think it's because she does so much work with her
Yeah, she's
hands,
losing here.
but she doesn't maintain it.
Yeah.
Right, it's just like, if we're going to do legs, we're going to foam roll our legs, right? Well, she needs to do hand exercises, wrist exercises.
One of the things I like to do for David, because since he started
jiu-jitsu,
jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
he does so much grip work, and his hands get so tight.
Yeah.
And so I'll massage his fingers, and I'll push everything through into his fingers,
Yeah, especially
and
that
I
thumb
focus
joint.
here on the
Yeah,
joint, on the
especially that
thumb.
thumb joint, yeah.
And the other day I had done it, and he was like, "Oh my god!" He was
Big
like, "I didn't
difference.
realize I needed that."
Yeah, but focus
like,
up here too now.
yeah,
Just
I like
do
that
exactly
idea.
what I did because it's all connected, right? Like, it's all moving up here. So a lot of times this is the problem, and the symptoms come down
here.
So we fix the problem, and then really it's just, and the more and more he does it, that endurance builds in the forearms, and then that tightness never happens because it's just the endurance is so.
Light bulb moment. Because with obviously the extra swimming, the extra lifting, everything else, I've actually been playing video games more too.
Oh,
So when the
yes.
couch
Actually,
when the
dude.
couch wins, like that's what I end up doing.
Yeah.
So like literally that like it all just like makes sense because now I'm like
Dude, and
again
that's
grabbing
what
in here.
happens with my clients. They're like, how'd you hurt yourself? They're like, I don't know, it just started happening. And I'm like, no, it never happens that way. There's something you're doing,
Yeah.
whether you got a new purse or, you got new shoes or, whatever, and you just got back from a flight or whatever. Something happened to cause the muscle to start doing that.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I'm working it, and then I'm talking, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I did this, and
Yeah.
I gardened for a whole 3 hours in the morning, and then that caused this to hurt, and is that why?
Yeah.
Is that why? And they're like, I was painting, that was the big one.
Yeah.
They're like, my neck hurt, maybe I slept wrong, and then they're like, no, I didn't sleep wrong, and I was like, oh, I don't know, and I'm messing with it, and they're like, could painting cause this? And I'm like, absolutely,
Yeah.
Sure.
because you're like this, painting, and eventually everything gets stuck, because it's not used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it's always something that we do. Like, I went on the run the other day. All of a sudden, I felt aches right here.
Yeah.
But it's just because I haven't ran in forever. So it was just my muscles adjusting. So I know foam roll those specific areas and immediately just released. So and stretched. I stretched also because if it's tight, it means it's kind of think like a rubber band ball, right?
Yeah.
So when we roll across in the duration of the fibers, it's going to kind of elongate them. So they're here, and then you want to stretch them, so that way you have that space. So that way, and it'll go back to a knot, like
Yeah.
I guarantee it. But you just do that again, and you can really just do it on a table. Like,
Yeah.
you can just do that.
Because I do that every now and then because I know that's a tight spot for me.
Yeah.
That and also on
And
this
then you
side from all the
stretch.
lifting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like in here, I roll that like you'll see me do it with my when I'm talking to
You do
clients.
those wrist stretchers and
I
stuff.
do those too, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll do
Yeah. I have seen you do that.
Because it's
But-
one of those like I do. I'm horrible about like doing
I'm
stuff like that.
constantly doing stuff like that. I mean, when I'm with my clients, I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm
Mhm.
focusing on pressing my big toe down. Like I'm constantly like aware of like my knees and them being externally rotated because I've had 3 knee surgeries. So I'm like, man, I want to be that one person that doesn't get arthritis in their knee because they told me I was going to get it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I know if your alignment is fine and I'm not doing anything to kill myself, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be good.
But I think so. Kind of looping it back around to kind of where we started being honest with clients. I think that's why we lose people too, because that discomfort comes from something weird,
Mm-hmm.
and then they don't know what it is. So like literally in 30 seconds, Isaac figured out what the problem was and fixed it. And I think a lot of times the people that we work with from a training standpoint, they're committed until they get to the aches and pains in other parts.
Yeah.
And like when we talked about the detox and how
uncomfortability.
uncomfortable that was, we talk about training, swimming. The small little fingertip drag is what caused that. Because I was thinking about it this morning too. I'm like, I feel like I'm dragging too much on this side. And I did some other drills too, and they were completely out of the ordinary for what I've been doing. And I'm like, you know, now that happened, it was fixed. I would have gone home and I would have rolled it and stretched it and done
Yeah.
something else. I probably wouldn't have gotten as deep or gotten that
Yeah,
popping, which I
yeah.
think was awesome. But like I would have looked at it and been like, okay, so this is where the problem is. But we know that. And this is why I think we also lose people because they don't understand that discomfort is normal,
Yeah.
pain is normal. Like what just happened here, like you guys probably saw it, and I did turn my face this way at one point because I wanted to cry. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like it was that bad.
Yeah.
But that's all normal. That's
People
part
compare
of being.
that to child labor.
Yeah, like
Yeah, they
this.
legit will compare that. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's pretty intense.
Like it's not fun. Like when you have tightness in your muscles, your pain in your
Yeah.
body, it's not fun. But there's a fix for it.
Mhm.
And if you don't know that there's a fix, if you don't know where the fix is, or you don't say anything about it, this is actually huge because we all have this. I was telling Eddie, I have a client who's virtual, and I sent them some workouts. I sent a whole bunch of stuff to them, and they were like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done with this." Okay, cool. You know what happened? You know what's going on? Like, give me some feedback. I didn't hear anything from him for 4 months. So I had more than that because we stopped working together in June, and then in December I was like, "Hey, hope the holidays are going well. Hope everything's going well. How's it going?" And she was like, "Hey, I got some feedback for you if that's okay." I was like, "Yeah, sure. What's up?"
Absolutely.
And I'm like, "I want the feedback." And she's like, "Well, I didn't know what some of these workouts were, so I stopped doing the workouts. I didn't know what some of the movements were." I'm like, "You shoot me an email or text me and say, hey, I don't know what some of this stuff is. I'll shoot you a video." Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it has taken me a little while to get to the videos, and I will admit this. By the time you guys see this, she'll have the videos and everything. It's just because it's the new year and everything else is going
Yeah,
on.
I'm so busy.
But it was like, this is what that was why you stopped doing something because you didn't understand what it was.
That's-
Like, you got to reach out. Like, you got to ask the questions.
But
Or-
even then, like you feel like that's what I actually just posted something on Instagram today. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was. So I can tell you in just a second.
The joy of technology.
Yes. If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so thinking about that in terms of being in the gym, if you see someone here who doesn't know what they're doing, ask them. Ask them if they need help. And this goes to everybody that's in the gym now. Everybody who's been here all year. There's going to be a lot of people who come in and don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they want to give up because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then it's scary to be in this environment and see these very beautiful people walk around in here who clearly have been here for years on end. I want to look like that. What do I do?
Yeah.
But I don't want to ask anybody because I don't want to look like an idiot asking people. And that's just, I mean, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, you have to.
And then don't post those memes that say a trainer came up to me and gave me unsolicited advice. If we do that, you're probably doing something wrong.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I had that happen with one girl. She ended up doing nutrition with me. I was like, hey, that band's in the wrong spot. You're not really doing what you're supposed to do. And she's like, no, it's supposed to be around my ankles. And she was squatting. And I'm like, you don't put a band around your ankles for squatting.
Squatting. Yeah,
You're not. Yeah, I mean, you can use it to kind of get that awareness.
like
to,
ankle external rotate, but that's not what she was doing.
no, you want it around your knees for what you're going for. She's like, no, it's supposed to be down here. I was like, Okay. And it's one of those things, like, we walk a fine line with what we do because we want to save you. Like, if you one of the members here said it best. He's like, if you saw somebody drowning, you wouldn't walk away. You'd throw them a life preserver. You'd throw them a life raft. You'd throw them something.
Yeah.
Members in the gym sometimes want the help, and they're okay accepting it. Other people are like, well, I didn't ask you for your help or your advice.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, help them, and then that person might not,
Yeah, so it's really on you guys to ask. Because we have the willingness and the ability to help almost every single problem that you have, and if we don't, there's enough of us where we can actually go.
We have the answers to everything.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and you're right. We'll ask each other, but
with as many people as we have here.
We're a one-stop shop. Like, man, I truly believe that. But back to the client, like that's the little doubt in her head. If you can't take the title of the exercise and Google it, you're not gonna change. You're gonna say however you are,
or like, right then and there. Like,
that's
even
the truth.
Even if so, this is what I hired the trainer for. Let me ask the question.
And just
all you had to do is, hey, can you send me some
options.
videos? Because the first set of exercises I sent her, she's like, hey, I'm not sure what some of these are. Cool, I'm gonna shoot some videos and I'll send them right over to you.
So she knew that was an option.
Yeah. So I made Katie go through, and I literally put her through each movement. I did an audio. This is how you set up, whatever else. And this one I'm just going to make a little bit more fancy.
You did an audio as well?
Yeah, like a step by step. Like, okay, so you're going to grab the weights, you're going to make sure your back is flat, and I made her like hold each position until I was done explaining it, and then I was like, okay, your elbows go back, and you do this, or you do whatever. Yeah. So it was literally like she heard it, she saw it, and everything else was all there. This one I'm going to make a little bit differently and send it to her. I'm actually going to put the name of the exercise, everything else. So it's going to have more production value. That's why it's taken so long. But it's one of those things where it's like, all you had to do was communicate this, and then you would still be, doing the workout.
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months further along.
4 months.
Yeah, because you can't make that up.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. And she very well could have been helped by somebody, right? And that could have fixed it. But on the flip side, if she never was helped, there's no reason for her or him, for any of us to just not ask.
Yeah.
Because it's Google. I mean, we live in a world where we can literally speak it. I mean, we can have speak to text. Yeah. You can talk to Cortana, you can talk to Google, you can talk to Siri, and they do it for you. Hey Siri, what's a dumbbell flat bench press?
Yep.
I guarantee you, she'll pull up a picture, a video, an image. Right? Let's check it out.
What were we looking at?
Let's look up a squat. Hey Google, what is a...
Siri, how do you perform a proper squat?
Okay, I found this on the
web. There you go,
What
YouTube, first one.
How do you perform a proper squat?
How to do a squat properly, fitness basics, YouTube. Yeah. Squat for beginners.
All these YouTube videos.
How to do a proper squat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that's the ready, willing, able. If you're really wanting to change, like, and I've had clients who are like, hey, I didn't hear from you, so I went ahead and did this workout.
Yeah.
What do you think? And I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where I ignore people. I'll ignore the client on purpose to see what they do. I'm sorry. Like, if you're gonna ask me a question that simple, that you're not even trying to me, you have to at least try. So I'm not gonna answer you because I want to see what you ended up doing. So I go and I'll text them later. Hey, sorry, I didn't get back to you. What'd you end up doing? And I'll tell them, good job, or next time let's do this, right? But it's just, I don't do it all the time, but it's just to see, It's like it's like the master testing their apprentice, just to see if they're ready for the next stage or the next level, right? Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm really doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's good because I don't want, whenever I'm with someone for nutrition, that's the first thing I like to say is I don't want you to have to rely on me. I am not going to give you this list of foods that you can't eat. I'm not going to give you this list of foods that you have to eat. I'm not going to give you your meal plans every time that we meet. I'm going to give you the basics. I'm going to give you everything that you need to succeed, that God forbid if I leave, I die, you leave, you move.
Yeah, you can still be successful.
You can still be successful. Exactly, because I don't want you to have to rely on me. I don't want you to have to live your life how I am telling you. Yeah. That's not your life then. That's my life. And that's not fun. My life is not fun. I don't do anything, guys. It's not fun. You end up with 4 cats. That's my life.
That's how we do it.
But yeah, that was cool. I like today's podcast. It was awesome.
That was really nice.
What did you cover? So detox is Stephanie's experience.
Yep.
So you're gonna start the next detox in 2 weeks?
Not this week, but the week after.
So
in about 2 weeks.
Sweet. and then we'll follow up with that whenever that happens.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, because if you're not, yeah, we'll actually probably end up talking about that during one of the podcasts too, because it'll be right on there.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
mean, I'll be going through it,
Yeah.
so
And
we'll
I'm
talk
starting
about it.
Sunday, so Saturday. I'm starting tomorrow.
Yay!
Nice.
Yeah.
And then next week we're gonna have Eddie.
We're gonna have Eddie. Hopefully, Eddie's gonna be able to join us. We're gonna go over on the concept of change. What made him decide to change as a trainer? What advice did he use from other people? What advice did he seek out for himself?
Just
I got a
questions.
whole
We're
bunch of
gonna
questions for him, yeah.
we're gonna ask him a ton of questions, and then even after his set of we're gonna just ask him his opinion on things, and
Yeah.
and then wherever the podcast will take us from there, we can just have a trainer discussion. But yeah, it's gonna be a little interview with Eddie at the beginning. Eddie is the metabolic specialist here at the Lifetime at San Antonio at the Rim.
Yeah. He won the in club challenge for trainers for
Last
the
time.
last 60
That's
days.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this will be out before the next 60 days. So if you see a story and you like it, maybe a good reason to jump in there.
Yeah,
For sure.
he is a
Absolutely.
trainer that you can train with for sure. Absolutely. All right, guys, this is Isaac.
This is Anthony.
This is Stephanie. Thank you guys very much for joining us today. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys in a week.
Yeah, next
Before-
Friday. Maybe
Next week.
before Isaac breaks his tablet.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for checking us out. If you like this, go ahead, like it, share it, subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.